You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.
Good evening, everybody, and good evening to the captain. We have all had a week, have we not?
I'm not even, as y'all know, Peggy knows, I've had about 6 months in a weekend of crap. So, yeah, but I won't even go there. But yeah, it's good. It's good to be home. And for those that don't know, I lost my wallet on my first flight into Vegas on Friday. So my all my IDs are gone. All my credit cards had to be frozen. And I had nice $360 in cash that went poof. So, and of course, the other things, I don't know what else was in I know the things that I know about in the wallet, but there are things that you forget that are there. And unfortunately, I still got some chocolate syrup here.
But you know what, Captain, in spite of all of that, and I know the dread of having to replace everything, but our Raiders
oh yeah,
definitely had a worse week than you have. Okay.
Well, but they're getting paid a lot more than I am. I'm gonna say.
They are. Yes, they are, and they have a lot more appearances. They get a lot more favors, and people being nice to them because they're NFL players. But I really wanted to start right off at the top of the hour. Just first of all, and I'm going to surprise you, I just want to give Raider Nation a hug. I see a lot of rage, a lot of anger, a lot of really intelligent people saying some really crazy things. They want the entire front office as well as the coaching staff completely gone. And they believe that their salvation is going to be the 2025 draft. And I hate to be the one to deliver the news, but you don't build a championship like that. Okay?
Yeah.
And
now they got
times?
Well, they got some of that. Some of the, and this is a salvation that's going to be built over the draft as well as free agency in 2025 and 2026 at a minimum.
If we can get anybody to come here, let us not forget what we have done to players and to coaches. And don't think the rest of the NFL isn't watching. People have to be very conscious. We don't know who Telesco will be approaching in the offseason, who will tell us flat out, oh, heck no, I'm not coming to the Raiders. Okay? They saw,
and that'll never get out either.
Right.
Yeah.
They saw what you did to Carr, a guy who had given you 9 years of loyalty. Okay? They saw what happened to Adams in his career. They're watching. Free agents are watching us. And if we're thinking that we're going to be easily able to lure free agents here, we got another thing coming. And that includes coaches too. Okay? And that's why all the calls for AP to be fired. I've heard Telesco should be fired. We need to bring back Josh Jacobs. I have heard that's why I want to just give the nation a hug, because some of y'all have lost your minds, okay? In the rage of losing, you're just saying anything, and we can't have a conversation. We can't have a rational conversation about anything when you're talking about 24 years of bad decisions, and it has culminated in this. It's like a domino effect. Okay? McDaniels started in motion dominoes, and they all fell down. Okay? And Captain, I know you're going to agree with me when we start going through this report card. And of course, we got 2 weeks worth of games, right? But I want everybody to understand you cannot fix 24 years of bad decisions in a season. Okay? And I know you're tired of starting over too. I've heard it over and over again. You're tired of starting over. You're tired of starting over. We need to stop making bad decisions. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
No, I agree. Mile High, who's a Bronco fan that actually pops in on the show, he's like, he gives his opinion. I'm like, I have no problem with people popping in, but as you know, folks, and Mile High knows this, if you're going to say something, make sure that you are correct. I'm like, dude, there are plenty of players before Randy Moss where the organization screwed up on. Exhibit A, I give you Javon Walker. Okay. I give you the $8 million cornerback who played 8 games for us.
What was
$1 million per.
I can't remember. From the Falcons, remember?
Right. I can't even remember his name, but him and Javon Walker were in the same free agency class, and like I said, we gave him a stupid deal, and he ended up playing 8 games at $1 million per. So, like I said, I appreciate the comments, but no, brother, it goes way beyond Randy Moss. Don't even just throw that out there.
And also the comment, even addressing the ownership. Okay, first of all, we're not the worst owners in the NFL. Let's start down in Jacksonville and go up to Carolina. By the way, franchises that have yet to see a championship. Okay, Just because ours are dated and old doesn't mean we ain't been out there trying for 70 years like the Detroit Lions and the Cardinals and the Chargers out there 60, 70 years, ain't never got it right. The ownership has never been right, okay? So we're not the only one. Of course, that doesn't make it feel better. Owners are not going to sell a $6 billion team. Anybody who talks about doing something with the owner automatically loses credibility with me. Nothing can be done about that.
And
what
again,
can be done about the owner? He's not selling.
Again, up until what, 2 years ago when you sold to the Walton gang, you had crappy ownership. So again, you're talking out of your ass, brother. You're talking out of your ass. Okay. Well, I know you're trying to denigrate us, but again, you're talking out of your ass. I'm just saying.
Don't get me started on the Donkeys. Nix is quarterback number 14 after Peyton Manning left in 2015. And this is what I'm afraid will happen to the Raiders too. We've had 7 quarterbacks already since 2020, since Carr left. I mean, that's why you don't just throw a franchise quarterback in the trash unless you have a plan to replace him. And I'm not talking about a free agent. I'm talking about a rookie sitting on the bench, like a Green Bay, like what the Atlanta Falcons are trying to do, right? They're trying to milk Cousins for everything they can get while Penix develops on the bench, which is why crazy suggestion number 32 I heard this week, the Falcons aren't going to give us Penix, okay? He's their plan for the future. Why in the world would they trade him anywhere? Kirk Cousins ain't going to be here in 2 years, okay? So, I mean, that's how you get rid of a franchise quarterback. You draft a rookie, you sit him down behind your franchise quarterback, and like a la Kansas City, sitting Mahomes down behind Alex Smith, you wait patiently. That's how the winning franchises do it, okay? Because we made that mistake, the dominoes are still falling. What are we on now? Ritter as a starter for Friday?
Well, it's either Ritter or AOC 12. I'm not sure.
I heard it's AOC, but we still had 7 starting quarterbacks. That's Carter.
Yeah.
And he's only been gone 2 years. We're going to break Denver's record. Okay? And let us
and I'll give them I'll give them congratulations for finally winning 1 game against us and now 2 games against us. It's been how long? Okay, congrats, brother. You know, get that Colorado high.
And it will still take 23 wins to even up the head-to-head between the franchises. We were beating Denver when they were going to Super Bowls, okay?
Yeah.
It's a division thing. It's a division thing. Please don't feel bad, Bronco fans. I mean, it can happen to anybody. But I do say this. Let's go right into the report card. And I need to start first with offensive coordinator. We've had 2 weeks to observe. I'm probably going to give them a higher grade than you would, because again, I like the play calling, if not the total execution. I like the play calling, and I will even throw out there, and it's not really an offensive play. I can't remember the last time we ran a fake punt, where I don't recall the punter running a fake punt in years. I remember when we had that special teams. Isn't that special teams?
Yeah, we had special teams.
I'm talking about. I'm listening to you. I agree with you about the play calling. Much smoother. I mean,
much smoother.
Coherent.
Yeah,
I can
and
actually see what they're trying to do, although
right,
they're
right.
not doing it well.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing though: when they execute, like I said, we have people like Sincere McCormick, who was running in there and was eluding tackles because he was slippery and slidery, right? And it was wonderful to see. And again, you probably know the stats. I think he probably had the most yards of the running backs this past week because he was elusive and he had burst.
But it was only 33 yards. You see, we're not getting to the real reason why the offensive play calling isn't really netting any results. So what grade? You didn't give me a grade.
For the offensive execution?
No, for the
I'm going to give it. The execution. I'm going to give it a solid A minus.
Well, I'm glad that you gave it to. Maybe they can do the average. I'm going to give it a C. And the reason why I'm going to give it to C is because the one thing that I was hoping to see from a daredevil like the Turners was stretching the field. And I know it has a lot to do with the running game. I know all about the mechanics. But sometimes when you throw deep, you don't have to complete it. Get the PI. You see, throwing deep alerts the linebackers and safety that they cannot stay on the line of scrimmage. There's a very inkling possibility that we might actually complete one deep. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not continually throwing, trying to make those shots, I know our quarterbacks don't have time. But my God, can we not design some plays to get our wide receivers out of the backfield?
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we get on the other side?
Where
on the other side of the line of scrimmage,
receivers are catching balls behind the line of scrimmage. Wait a minute, you're a wide receiver. Why are you behind the line of scrimmage catching balls? You see, that part there is why I'm going to give them a C.
Well,
I don't care what it costs. I want to see deep routes. I want them to get out of those 5 and 6 man fronts. I want someone to start worrying about what's going on behind them, and nobody.
I agree, but Peggy, maybe they didn't think that they would be able to against Denver. I'm just saying, maybe they thought, well, okay, using like the bubble screen concept would get like it would be. Remember, those are like running plays. Those are like running plays when it's a
once you saw, and I agree with you, Captain. I know what you're saying, but once you saw Surtain on Bowers,
yeah,
right there, something had to be open deep. I don't care. You would have attacked that and get him off of Bowers by making him play zone or man. But nobody respects our receivers. Nobody respects our deep game. They just put Surtain on Bowers, 4 for 38 yards, shut him down. They can do that without even work. They can put their best corner on a tight end and not even worry about our wide receivers.
Which is unfortunate because, hey, Peggy, remember what the Raiders' first play from scrimmage was pretty much all of the 1970s? What their first play?
Deep.
And
Al
even
Davis
if it
believed in that. He believed in that.
And even if it, I think
you
that maybe
saw Surtain on Bowers, that they announced that they were going to cover our best receiver with their best corner, Turner and Tucker, Myers. What's deep? What's going on? I didn't see anything. And partly it's because the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. Well, okay, he's got to buy time. we have got to establish a deep game, or this offense is done.
Well, see, that I think that was my point, though. I think they realize there is no time, and there will be no time.
You're gonna have to buy it. You're gonna have to buy it.
Well, they're gonna have to do something now that the booger eater is not eating anymore. Who was the most mobile of the quarterbacks we have? Save I don't know how our backup will be, and I'm not talking AOC 12. The kid that is the son of our old defensive coordinator. I don't know how mobile he is.
Activate him. I mean, he's not even off the practice squad, is he?
I don't know, but
Bradley is what you're talking about.
Right. Thank you, Bradley.
They haven't even moved him off the practice squad. I mean,
then that means it's Tuesday. It means that they will probably need then that AOC 12 is going to be the backup.
Right. Now let's go to defensive coordinator. Grade. Give me the grade first and talk next.
Before we go there, because of my vantage point of where I sit, I got a chance to see Minshew when he was walking past me into the tunnel.
Well, I'm surprised he stayed healthy as long as he did.
And he was
4 games ago. What are we going to do when he goes down?
He was doing this. He was, I was like
a separated shoulder or something. I mean, a Gannon type
injury.
Yeah,
but I was going to say
Gannon's the way it was shoulder or something. I was surprised that he stayed as healthy as long as he did, and that should tell you how bad this O-line is. I have never seen a Raider O-line this terrible. I mean, I've been watching 50 years. Have you, Captain? I mean,
I know that there were some bad. Well, I know that there were some bad O-lines when Andrew Walter was the quarterback, and he was running for his life. That was like Andrew Walter and Aaron Brooks.
Not even then. He got quite a few deep passes off. Not that they were accurate or anything.
Yeah, not that they were.
But he did get time to throw. It was an inconsistent thing. No, in 50 years, I have simply not seen an O-line this bad. But with all that said and done, I want to move now to defensive coordinator. And since for 2 weeks in a row, the Raiders have really been taking it on the chin defensively. Do you think?
Yeah. And it seems like the defense has regressed. Now, granted, a lot of that is because their top corners are out. And
when Wilkins went down, do you understand the ramifications of losing
I get that.
A double team, a guy who drew double teams like Wilkins? I mean,
I get that.
Max is just paralyzed now.
So you get that push. It's gonna hurt.
First, Captain, could I please have a grade from
for the defense?
Defensive
C.
Coordinator.
Coordinator? Well, okay, C- then, because why are we playing all zone and all of these guys are just
got no choice. You know he ain't got great. You know how he loved them zone, them 4-2-5s.
I can't stand. And I'm looking at the field again, where from my vantage point, and I'm like, that guy's open. And of course they're getting the ball to him. So I would say like a C-, D+ on the scheme, because I'm sick and tired. Every time they needed a pass, they would have the shorter stuff for first downs, and it's infuriating.
And Captain, this is something the coaching staff should have seen. When a quarterback begins to scramble after 3-4 seconds, now he's buying time, okay? You're in a zone. He can't, on his first, second, and even third, he didn't see anything open, okay? But when the quarterback starts moving, you have to come out of zone and go into man.
Right.
And that's something I don't see the Raiders doing very well. Now, it could be the toll of our injuries. Hobbs is gone. Bennett is gone. We lost Epps 3-4 games ago. I mean, that's going to take its toll. We're playing guys like Darnay Holmes. Do you feel what I'm saying? And that poor little young thing, my little infant corner, DeCameron Richardson, bless his heart. Captain, could you please, next time you're out there and you get a chance to talk to him, tell him when the wide receiver begins to change the movement of his body, look up.
Turn and look for the ball. Don't face guard them because you're going to be called for pass interference every time. Yeah, that like Philip Buchanan did that all the time. He would do this, and there's these receivers in front.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
You couldn't teach him, and same thing with Fabian Washington. Same thing. I mean, these are blasts from the past for us old school Raider fans going through Al Davis's school of first round bust. Y'all want to complain about what went on under Mark? You see nothing yet. But could you remember next time you're out there and you get a chance to talk to them in the warm-ups, just tell them if the wide receiver makes any shift of movement with his arms or hands,
turn around and look
up.
Yeah. And I'll try to do that, Peggy. I will say that having my scooter there for the very first time, I was late, so I have to get my schedule figured out with the scooter. So, but I will be there so that I can actually see them run onto the field and do that.
Please, and for that reason, I have to give, in the last 2 weeks, I have to give the defensive coaching a D. Okay?
Yeah.
And I can't, there's adjustments that, I mean, you can't just stay in zone and then not teach your guys how to go to man when the quarterback is scrambling. Okay?
Yeah.
At that point, the zone is useless because the receivers now know where the soft spots are.
Right.
They know where
now. Let me ask, in your opinion, is that more on Graham or is that more on the DB coach?
Well, you see, we could go down. Who hired the DB coach?
Oh, I got that. I'm just saying, but who needs to tell them this is what you need to do? Because in my estimation, the DB coach needs to say, hey, by the way, I was listening to Peggy, and she made a very valid point. You know, when the quarterback starts running around after 5 seconds because we're getting pressure up front now, and not as much as we should be because
we're missing.
But we're getting right. But when we're getting the pressure after 5 seconds when the guy's running around. Find a guy, or not really find a guy, because then I see our defense. I'll find the same guy that the other four guys.
You can't tell me that. I know, but see, that's coaching.
But
that's coaching.
Yeah, exactly. Coach it up. Scheme. Yeah, and again. Yeah.
I mean, you just absolutely have to teach your guys that you got some holes and you got some missing people, and your talent level will step down a level. Now you're going to have to go back to basics. Like how to use your hands, how to tackle. Now, somebody did make a statement to me, and all of you out there, they said that the tackling was a lot better. And
it was
a lot better. Okay? Maybe they can only work on one thing at a time. All right, let's go to the grade.
Baby.
I want to go to the grade for head coach.
Peggy, you're not going to like what I said.
You got to go with the grade that you think he deserves.
He deserves and I'm not going to give him an F, but it's close. It's like a D minus minus. Again, for things like, situational awareness, knowing that you're down 10 points at the very end. You got to have two scores.
We weren't going to win that game. I don't care how many points we were down. We weren't going to win.
Peggy, we could have if they did things correctly and they got the 3 early, and then the execution. You got to play like you want to win the game. Like I think was it Herb was saying, you play to win the game, and they ain't playing like they want to win the game, coaching wise, and that's disheartening. And that's why I know that you are a proponent of keeping AP. I understand that. So having said that,
no, wrong. I never wanted him in the first place. Let's get this straight. I thought y'all were all lunatics. Demanding 11 months ago that a guy with 2 years coaching experience take over as head coach of this dysfunctional mess. Okay.
Yes, but you were on record.
I am not a fan of keeping Pierce. I'm a fan of the Raiders. Stop making the same mistakes over and over again. If you get rid of Pierce, that'll be the second head coach in 2 years, 4 and 5 years.
Okay.
What is wrong with you?
You're right.
Why do you not see anything wrong with that?
You're right, Peggy, you're right. But here's the thing. If you know, and I said this when we got rid of McDaniels, if you know the guy is not going to be your coach next year, get rid of him now. Get rid of him now. And I was saying there, they addressed it. They canned his ass on Halloween and said, this guy ain't going to be here. They figured it out.
Well,
okay.
He should have never even been on the list. But that's another.
But I got that, Peggy. But you can't. Yes, that again. Yes, right. That's another discussion.
Not going to be fired. Mark would be insane. It is an insane move for this franchise. What free agent would come here? You done got rid of 2 head coaches and gone through 2 offensive coordinators in 1 season. Do you see how it looks from the rest of the league?
I get it, but
instability.
Peggy,
you're not going to solve your problems getting rid of Pierce. No one is coming here. No one is coming to coach this madness.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, well,
you're wrong because the spark. No. I don't have a person in mind, but depending upon who the head coach that you cap, that is, and I'm going to say it, stupid enough to come here because they probably have to have a screw loose, right?
Anybody with a bona fide resume like a Harbaugh, there's no way he's coming to this shit show. It's got to be
that's the thing.
Harbaugh
went to a shit show.
No.
Harbaugh went to a shit show.
Franchise that he had total control. GM got fired, and he had Herbert. 2 things we did not have. Right away. You see, you got to understand. Anybody who knows football and is smart and is a winning good coach is going to want certain things. Going to look at us, not see them.
Yes.
They're trying to hire his 3rd coach in 3 years.
And if they hire somebody
you go with the somebody who. You see,
I don't have a fucking person in mind right now. What I'm saying is
suggestion.
I'm just saying.
Then it's insanity. It has to be because you want us to get rid of somebody because you don't like him. You think think he's never going to pan out.
I don't think he's qualified. And if we know he's not qualified, then why the hell are we keeping him then? That's my point. Because if he wasn't qualified and we made the stupid mistake to keep him, then why don't we get rid of him when we know he's not qualified?
Because
that's my question.
We are committed. The Raiders have to stop making dysfunctional moves. Even bums all over the league. I can give you a list of 10 of them. They got more than a year to prove whether or not they were bums.
Okay. So
one of them is sitting right up there in New York right now as we speak.
Okay, Peggy, let me ask.
I mean,
so
I think why would you do a Steve Wilkes on him? Why you want to do a Steve Wilkes on him?
I thought that Steve Wilkes had potential and they screwed up getting rid of him.
But
I thought he had potential.
After 1 year.
But Steve Wilkes, I think, was a better.
Now you want to do a Steve Wilkes.
Peggy, Steve Wilkes had more potential as a head coach, and the Cardinals were stupid and got rid of him.
But we're not going to be stupid to get rid of AP.
I don't want AP around. I don't want AP around.
Why?
I want a coach because he can't fucking coach. Excuse my French. He can't coach. He doesn't have the ability, and he hasn't shown me anything this year.
Go right ahead. I know insanity is just taking over. It's just insane for the Raiders as a franchise to make such a move at this point in their franchise history.
Then I am making the best financial decision I am going to make, and I've already said this.
He doesn't care about whether you buy
No. This is personal for me. This is personal to me as a Raiders fan, Peggy. I am making a sound decision by selling 1/2 to maybe more of my tickets next year because I'm not going to pay to see this crap out on the field until they have a viable agenda, a viable product. I'm not friggin', and I apologize for dropping F-bomb, but it's just been bubbling, okay? I'm not paying for crap.
People that agree with you, and I, for one, I can't fault you. I don't feel the same way you do, but I can't fault you. Who wants to shell out all that money, make all those sacrifices to go to Las Vegas to see an inferior product? But Pierce didn't create it. Neither did Telesco.
And I'm not mad at Pierce. I just think that we all know, or at least I think I know, that the guy can't coach out of a paper bag.
I'm tired of hearing about how Patriots this and Patriots that, Tom Brady this is going to be. Mark is always looking for the magic bullet. It's not there. Not for us. Anybody that's good is not going to come to the Raiders. And there's a reason why. We've spent a lot of time over the last 24 years building up such a reputation of dysfunction. It's just like Carolina. Who would go to Jacksonville? I mean, look what they did to Doug Peterson. Jacksonville. Peterson went from being a Super Bowl winning coach to what? Down in Jacksonville. Of course, anything Trent Baalke touches turns to ashes. See what happened to Harbaugh in San Francisco, right?
Right.
But, I mean, it's that kind of scenario for us where you have to try and experiment like Urban Meyer because you can't get anybody, okay? And that's where we are.
And as you said,
we're not going to Tepper and the Panthers the same way.
Then I am. You know what? I don't need to pay anything to come to Vegas next year if I know that Antonio Pierce and whatever minions are out there.
Why do you keep saying Antonio Pierce like there's not a whole product that includes him?
I said you did not hear me. I said Antonio Pierce and
I just think it's insanity for anybody to blame this mess on him. Anybody that's doing it has another agenda, for sure.
Peggy.
I'm not
Peggy,
saying
fuck
anything else
agenda.
about it.
Fuck agenda. I'm saying Antonio Pierce and his minions, his coaching staff, because it's not, I know where you're going, and it's not that. I am not going to pay money to see a shit coaching staff.
You're not rational. You're just not rational. And I'm
not going to put any money into it.
Not to speak rationally. For anybody to talk about the Raiders getting rid of this person and getting rid of that person after 1 year, I mean, it's insanity. And I can't say anything more about it. Let's go. So you give him an F, and I give him a C minus. I mean, the players are still playing hard. Okay? That's the only reason he gets that grade. As far as his mechanics, he's a first-year head coach. It's just like the rookies out there fucking up. Excuse my language.
Well, thank you. You make me at least make me feel better that I'm not the only one.
Are going to F up badly. That is a law of the universe. They just don't have enough experience. And I'm not going to say, I say nothing about rookies their first year because I know they're going to stink the joint up. That's just what they do. The Camerons out there proving it. I mean, you know, there's a whole lot of Glaze and JPJ stinking to the highest heaven. We have to air their dirty diapers out every week, okay? That's what happens when you have rookies.
You know, they're playing better than the alternatives that were playing before them, though.
They're not playing better. No one on that O-line is playing professional football. Period. Okay. You need to watch the films. Watch snap after snap after snap. Who gets blown backwards?
Okay, I'll give you that because you have the time. You do. No, you have the time.
And LVR has forgotten about Art Shell's. Remember, Captain, the 2-14 2006 season with Randy Moore, right? Please,
Art Shell too.
See the craziness that just comes out. People just saying any old thing out of their mouths, and they just because they're tired of losing. I know why you're saying these crazy things.
Well, that's my. So I'm wrong when I see that you said the definition of no. You said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if that's insanity, because I'm going to quote you on it, if that's insanity, then why would we do the same thing again next year with the staff that we're going to have? I didn't say his name.
You're saying that the Raiders should once again fire their entire staff and start all over again.
Yeah, if you're going to put it like that, yeah.
Insanity.
I know it's bad. I know it's bad. Well, I know it's bad.
Y'all have lost y'all mind. I can't even go there with you. I'm just gonna listen. It's
okay,
insanity.
I'm just saying, if we know we're gonna be effing the pits next year, I say rip the Band-Aid now. Rip it now. If we're gonna suck next year with the same staff,
it's insane. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've never heard you not make any sense until now. It makes no sense.
Well, I'm saying if you get
a history lesson why it's insane.
Okay.
Pittsburgh had fired Chuck Noll after the 1969 1-13 season. What if Pittsburgh had decided after a 5-9 1970 season, this guy's a bum, let's fire him? What if Pittsburgh decided after a 6-8 1971 season, the guy's a bum, get rid of him? And the next
okay.
season,
So how long in Peggy speak do we have to deal with it till we figure out that it was a bad decision?
You didn't answer my question. What if Pittsburgh decided after a 1969 1-13 season, you will admit a total disaster?
Oh, I got you. But you know what? Bill Belichick sucked his first year, and they got rid of him.
No. But you haven't gone to where I'm going.
I'm just saying.
Organizations, successful organizations like the Pittsburgh Steelers, got brains.
I agree.
They
Peggy,
know
I agree.
that they have to stick with a system. I'm sorry, Captain.
Okay.
I don't get to come on but once every 2 weeks.
I know. I'm just saying.
A week, so you get to say it with anything you want to say. But this is not going to be the trash AP show because I don't deal with insanity.
I'm not trashing APs. I'm just saying AP, by what I see, the product that I see, what he does, and the team we got.
You don't know what you're talking about. Let me just cut you off right there. A coach needs time to develop his system. One season is not enough time. And especially this is the unfairness of your position. You knew that McDaniels destroyed this team. You knew that the Raiders have had 24 years of bad decision-making, culminating. You knew things when we got Pierce. Yet you're going to say 1 year, he's got to go. Maybe
first off,
guy, but I'm surely going to give him more than one season. That's only fair.
Okay, there's fair, and okay, then let's be fair. Let's be fair, because God forbid that we ain't fair, because we have a coach that needs a second year.
Bums like Joe Judge.
Okay, did we do that? Did we do that? Did we do this, Peggy? We're not the Giants. Go ahead and say somebody else.
2 seasons. We gave Dennis Allen 2 whole seasons and 4 games. Did he make it back from London? I'm not sure.
No, he got fired. But I'm saying that you're actually agreeing with me to a point.
No,
if we know the guy sucks, they can get rid of him.
Seasons.
I know they got 2 seasons, and that was a season that too long.
You don't want him to have even that.
Peggy, if I bite into a steak, okay, because I'm a food person. If I bite into a steak and it's shitty, and I say, hey, can you prepare this?
The person dining with you bites into the same steak and says, it's okay. Your opinion should.
You're talking to me. No, you said me. You said
That's
me.
the way I think about
you said me. If I bite into a steak and I like it.
But if you don't like it, another person bites into it.
Okay, you and Kenna are buds.
No,
I personally didn't think AP.
I have my thoughts about why there is such an anti-AP animus. I shall keep them to myself, but I will say he deserves.
I know where. I know.
You know exactly what I mean. I think that it's too
intense. I know.
And only certain people are coming up with the anti-AP thing. It's only a certain kind of person. And I will also say that you deserve, however, you are right to have the feelings that you have and the thoughts that you have. I just think they're bad for the Raider organization as an organization.
And Peggy,
I think that you are
I love you. And you know
entitled,
that.
you
You
are
know
right,
that.
but only certain people, it's a pattern now, are coming up
Okay,
with this
but
AP don't deserve another season. But we spending too much time. It's 9:50. I gotta go at 10. And we haven't got a report card. You won't let it happen. I'm trying to get grades. Now, will you let it happen? Give me a grade and be quiet, please. All I need is a grade. I need your opinion.
Okay.
Your opinion, your grade matters. It helps people get a clear focus on what's going on. Let's go to the quarterback position the last 2 weeks. Grade.
And
you know,
B.
B?
B.
And I agree with you because, quite frankly, Minshew was actually the best quarterback we had, which ain't saying much, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go to running backs. What do you think?
I give him a D because we still can't run the ball. Yeah. And that goes with the offensive line. That's a D. And with the O-line play for blocking, it's a solid D.
That's right. And now I go to that O-line, which by the way, I give the running backs a C because I think they're doing the best they can, given the fact that they're not going to have any holes. Now, and the quarterback also gave a B. See, there you go. I'm trying. I
factored in together. I factor the running game with the I'm sorry, I factored them both together.
I'm sure everybody. Oh, look at Rick. Rick is just like O-line sucks. What about the O-line? A grade for them and them alone.
F.
Yeah, I can't even give them a grade. That's how bad I think they is. I think that they should be arrested for felonious assault on their own quarterback. Did you see the play where Ritter fumbled, where he was sandwiched by his own guy?
Which wasn't a fumble, by the way. It was a forward pass.
Because Powers Johnson was being pushed into him. One side we had Parham, who shouldn't even call himself an offensive lineman. The other side, Colton was being pushed in him. That's the sandwich. In front, Powers Johnson was being put. That's what people didn't see, and that's why his arm couldn't go forward. Powers Johnson,
but it was going forward though. That was the point.
Well, when it hit off,
it was going forward.
No, they didn't give it to us. Okay, so arguing about it, whether it was forward, the point is he was sandwiched by his own eyes.
True.
Not by a D lineman, a Denver D lineman, his own guys. They should be arrested for felonious assault. And that is how bad. I cannot give the O-line a grade. And let's go now to wide receivers. Myers.
I was going to say,
Tucker.
I don't recall any.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I don't even recall any real good. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think of really good plays, and I don't recall any really good wide receiver plays. I don't. And I'm not trying to be facetious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you won't see any either, unfortunately. Give the wide receivers a grade, Captain, please.
Okay, then a D, because I don't see anything spectacular about it. A D.
They're not stretching the field. And if you watch the film, I wish I could show film on this show. Just show you one or two play. I can't. Oh, really? I have clips.
You can.
But
you got you got clips.
Tucker and Turner are two of the worst route runners in NFL history. Those guys do not know what a stop and go is, and they don't know what a double move is. And on my page, I had the highlights as people were calling for certain people to be fired. I said, first things first, just like I did for Craig earlier this season, I wanted to highlight Edgar Bennett, survivor of 3 regimes, a company man.
Yeah.
He's been through Gruden, McDaniels, and now he's here with Getsy/Turner. Okay, one of those untouchables like Rob Ryan. We'll get to that. See, if you want to know what's really wrong with the Raiders, okay, you need to get into that. But a lot of fans don't know about that.
But you want to keep all these guys. That's my point.
Edgar Bennett, what has he done to improve our wide receiver play?
Nothing. And you want to keep him for continuity.
Did I say anything about Edgar Bennett? I said Pierce. That's all we were talking about. And we're not talking about him anymore because I don't think the conversation is going to go anywhere. But I was saying, if you want to look at a target, what has Edgar Bennett done to improve our wide receivers?
Nothing. Because he's a running back by trade.
But he still stays, doesn't he? He stays even though OCs and head coaches come and go. Remember the
Peggy,
old days.
I got you.
Good old days.
But unfortunately, well, you can say the same thing about Terry Robisky, who went and came and and by the way, Terry actually had a bill.
On the side, by the way, Rob don't think I see him, but I just seen him there, perched over there 8 years. What has he done for our defense? What in that 8 years, other than the last 2, what has he done? What has he done to improve our defense?
To improve it, pretty much nothing. I see.
There's a lot
as a senior, as a senior defensive not coordinator, as a senior defensive assistant and advisor, nothing.
See, we have a lot of those, not just in the locker room, but also in the front office as well. The Raiders have a lot of company men around that are doing absolutely nothing. They have zero accountability. They are not held to any standard whatsoever. They just survive, right? Year after year, they just survive. They're not doing anything visible on the field to help our guys get better. And that, I submit, is the part of the Raider culture that has to be destroyed. It really, really does.
Okay.
One thing to keep a company man when he's actually helping you, but when he's not doing a damn thing, and your teams year after year after year come out looking the way they've looked, why are you still here? Why do you still have a job?
I would do it for one tenth of the price with little benefits, and I'd probably do it better than a lot of people.
Oh, and I know it to be true. Now, my time is running short, but I think we need to go to one more part and give the special teams a grade and a shout out to Dylan Lobby. Yay!
I was going to say I give the special teams an A for actually, like you said, the fake punt, the lobby. It was I think it was probably the longest return we've had this year that I remember. I mean, I remember in preseason we had a few, but Lobby himself set up the one touchdown that got us there. I would say a definitive A for the special teams.
And not only that, let me tell you about that Lobby run. That's actually the longest play from scrimmage for the entire season for the Raiders.
Wow.
59-yard game.
Yeah.
I mean, That's incredible that we have gone 11 games into the season.
That's bad.
And we never had a play longer than 37 yards. I mean, it is pathetic. So Edgar Bennett, what have you done for those wide receivers that can't do a stop and go, that can't do a double move, that can't get off the line of scrimmage? That's why they're behind the line of scrimmage catching balls, because they were stopped. And I think that that's something that we need to talk about in the next couple of weeks when we're talking about how do we make this organization better. We got some clues, Captain, and with the clues we can put things together. I suspect that the problems of the organization are pretty much predated the current.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing that I'm upset about, Peggy, is that we all want positives going, but I think that we're thinking about doing it in totally opposite ways.
They was asking about lobby, and I just, again, with the offense having now 2 offensive coordinators this year, there can't be much stability. There can't be much continuity. There can't be much functionality at this point, okay? Now you can't even keep a quarterback healthy. You can't. Do you realize what that means?
Means that we better start.
I don't understand how a person is going to blame one person for all these things that are happening. Wilkins goes down on us. Oh, that was really a disaster for the defense.
Yeah,
people
it was.
Really understand. It was a disaster. It just broke up their whole plan. It was bad enough when Kuntz wasn't able to start the season, right? But they kind of got over there because he still had Wilkins. But then we lost Wilkins. And people are over there, Tyree Wilson is a bust. Well, I don't know that. I don't know that any more than I knew Cleveland Farrell was a bust. Why?
Because we didn't use them effectively.
And the defensive coaching. Buckner gets to stay 1 year clean. We go from 32nd in sacks to 21st in sacks. And then Gruden fires him so he can hire Marinelli. Whew. It's decisions like that that have that domino effect. As a result of that, we lost a lot of young defensive talent on the line, including Farrell. Okay, he wasn't Mac, and neither is Tyree Wilson. Do people understand Mac was a once-in-a-generation type player? Do people get that?
Mm-hmm.
That it's going to be a little while before we see another Mac, and certainly not in Vegas. You understand? Mac was generational talent, which we misused and abused for 4 years, such that he didn't want to re-sign with us, okay? Because we never fixed the defense around him. We never fixed it. And I'm saying that those organizational problems are not going to be helped by constantly starting over every single year. It's not going to help us. I don't care who you get in here. There's going to be some lag time. Whoever we get is going to need time. And y'all not giving it to him, are you? You're not going to give it up, are you?
No.
Do it now. Get my Madden controller out. Click. Change coach. Click.
Hey,
quarterback.
Don't use that analogy on me, because I can honestly say I don't agree.
But I'm saying that ideology,
I don't do that.
That conversation is beginning to dominate football conversations now.
I understand that.
Over.
But what I'm saying to you, because you've identified issues. with the positional coaches, right? And
it's widespread. It's up and down the organization.
If we're going to keep them, then the result.
I don't know anything. All I said was the guy deserves more than 1 year.
Okay, but if we're going to keep the same
anyone
players,
that has a problem with that has another agenda entirely. I'm going to accuse them of another agenda. He deserves more than 1 year because of the enormous problems you are very aware that we had before he got here. He inherited McDaniel's mess, and you know that.
Yeah.
You know that. But that doesn't seem to impress you. He wasn't good enough to overcome the Madden mentality. Click. Let's replace the head coach. Click. Doesn't have to work that way. We need to be patient.
Peggy, I got you, but you know, my patience is gone. It's unfortunate for me because I'm normally a very patient person.
Not blame any Raider fan who is fed up. I have listened to so many of my friends ranting about this team, and I can't say anything because I know they're just tired of it. But people like me, we're patient. We know that the Raiders will rise again. I'll probably be dead, stinging, and buried.
Well, see, that's the point, Peggy. You're in better health than I am, and you're just a little bit older than me. You're in better health than I am. But
because I know how dysfunctional and the kind of decision making and the kind of culture that keeps the Raiders playing as badly as they do. I mean, I just can't say enough. Anyway, gotta go. And we will talk in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. And Peggy, it's always fun because I get a chance to blow. I get a chance to blow up and in a great way with stuff that's bugging me.
The sharing and learning, and from our commenters, how much I pick up. It helps my discussion and argument so immensely. And thank you for that too. Anyway, don't eat too much, Captain. Don't eat too much of Thanksgiving. You've been looking real good lately, and I want you to stay that way, okay?
Oh yeah, because I'm so svelte.
You've been looking healthy. So we will talk soon in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you, honey. And you know when you give me that, I'm giving you one back too. There's a big hug too.
Nation hug. Okay. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving, Peggy. And to like I said, I love the conversation. Boy, okay. First off, I think what Billy Harris said that she was eating my lunch. People agree with Peggy, Billy, but people agree with me too. It's opinion. It's opinion. And the thing that I will say about Peggy is she doesn't blow up like I do. She doesn't blow up like it because I'm just sick of it. And I'm picking. I want you guys to have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. By the way, Jack, there will be a Wild Wild West show tomorrow, and I told Richie to send me the link. You're going to be on it. You are going to be the Raider representative. I'm going to try to come on as an extra mouthpiece. In and out. And Jack, I was saying, what happened the last time that we had a top pick and we used it for a quarterback? I remember that. And that set us back years too. But it helped the rest of the NFL out because because people figured out you can't throw all of that money on a first round pick and then he takes your organization back years. So it helped the NFL out, didn't help us out. Yeah, Rick, I know. It was Jabustus Russell. That's what I call him. And I had such high hopes too. Here's the point. You need an offensive line, and both Peggy and I agree with that. You need an offensive line. And I said I think that JPJ has got that rookie, learning curve. Colton Miller, I think, is toast. We need another. Yeah, Derek, I know we need to draft a quarterback. I know that. But here's the point. If you are there, and it's almost always two quarterbacks. It's Manning and Ryan Leaf. It's Bryce and the kid that the Texans took, right? And by Derek, the Texans quarterback would look like shit in our offense. Seriously, if we would have taken him, he wouldn't be the stud that he is, because he would have had a shitty offense to be under. The start of the Josh McDaniels offense, which sucked and didn't improve last year. Think about it, though. Everybody says how great of a quarterback he was because he did well in the system. Okay? He did well in the system. And I disagree that Miller is fine. No, I don't think so. I think we need a left tackle now. Seriously. I think we need a left tackle now. And I'm disappointed that Mumford isn't the guy to take over for Miller. I'm disappointed. And getting to point, this year, right, Sanders, Ward, Jackson Dart, and Dylan Gabriel. You got the four, because I like Dart and Gabriel. So people were talking about the other quarterback from Utah. I don't know enough about him. I'm going to plead ignorance. Haven't seen enough of tape or any information, but I've seen Jackson Dart, and I know Dylan Gabriel. Those are commodities that I know. And other than Jackson Dart just bitching out against my Gators, who I loved it at the time, he was bitched out. But there's also Quint Ewers. And then I said the Utah guy. So there's a bunch of quarterbacks. And they said, well, it's either going to be Sanders or Ward, who I agree are the two best of the bunch. And Dylan Gabriel is on the small side, but you know what? So is Fran Tarkenton. He can move. Personally, I like Jackson Dart. Kenna wants me to post the link. Okay, I will do that. And I will stay as long as we have people participate. I think that they mean by standards, yeah, he's 6, but remember, that's a college 6 foot, where they usually give you about 2 or 3 inches in the program. How reliable is that? How reliable is that? I like Jackson Dart. I like Dylan Gabriel. I like Cam Ward best of all. But in order to get Cam Ward, you got to be the number one pick because the Giants are going to be ahead of, unless they can, win. And I don't think the Giants are going to win another game. I don't know if I think we're going to win another game. I really do. I think we're going to drop back because we're going to win another game. I don't know where it's going to be. But I think we're going to win another game. Yeah. Rick says he's about 5'11", and again, that's a college 5'11". They usually give you 2 inches, so he's about 5'9". He's probably about my size. I'm not saying he is. But there's the link. You want to come in and talk? Great. And by the way, Jack, like I said, send me the link tomorrow. I told Richie to send me the link. I'll come in for a little bit after NFL Nation Live, which comes at you at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. I'd love Cam Ward to be that guy. But no matter who that guy is, you got to revamp that offensive line. You need a tackle and a guard, period. And if you get them in free agency, great. But there are reasons why people are free agents. There's always a reason why people are free agents. You got to get the best of it. And I don't know. There will be plenty of people that do the draft stuff that will tell us who those guys are. Ward 6'2", 2 inches more than Gabriel. Gabriel's less than 6. Like I said, I think he's a little bit. I know his father played against Gabriel. Okay, so Rick's saying he's 5'11", and again, I gotta apologize to Peggy. I get so heated at times. It's not directed at her. It's like, but I want to get. If I know that AP sucks as the head coach, granted his assistants really suck. So in my mind, that's who I'm railing against. Does AP deserve? I just don't like his decision. Jack, I'm gonna put you on in a minute. I'm gonna start with Derek Jeffries. Hey. Derek, I'm not sure. Have you been on the show before?
No, sir, I have not. Do you hear me?
Okay, well, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming in. Yes, sir, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in. I like to see people that are new to the show as well. Jack Kenna's gonna follow you, and Jack comes in all the time. But again, welcome and thank you. And tell all your friends, if you want to have fun, pop in and talk Raider football. So thanks again, sir. Well, you were giving some stuff, and everyone's like, it's my opinion, it's Peggy's opinion, and it's that dividing line. That's pretty much the dividing line. It's Peggy's views and my views. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's about what it is. Okay.
Well, I totally agree with you. The thing of it is, I've been watching SEC football a while, and I saw where Archie Manning took over for the head spot of the quarterback of the Texans because he got hurt. But prior to that, that guy was looking pretty awesome, and he's only about 21, 22. So, you know, what I'm thinking is if we can get him in a late round and get a left tackle and maybe a right tackle, and I don't know, maybe try for a center in a third round and grab him at a second pick. You know, I'm thinking we could start off like that. I'm not digging the Antonio Pierce as head coach. I was hoping they would go with somebody with a little bit more seasoning on them than just somebody starting out as a head coach. I think if you start out as a head coach, you should be maybe at a college level, not at an NFL.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, you know, we messed up there. And people, but see, the people before, they were clamoring for our special teams guy that was the interim and got us to the playoffs. And I said, that's not the coach. That's not a head coach. That's not a head coach. I said, a head coach is the guy who comes in and brings his staff.
Yes.
It's not just the guy, it's his staff. And so when we got AP, I'm like, okay, it's the staff. And I thought wrongly that the staff would be an asset to AP, and it really has not been. And Peggy went over the guys that are just dead weight here. And if you want Arch Manning, you're going to have to wait another year because he ain't coming out until 26. So Ewers is a decent quarterback. And like I said, I like Jackson. I'm an SEC guy by myself as well. I'm from Florida. That's why, watching. Yeah, well, hey, and Kentucky, they beat us, and it's been. I think they beat us like 2 or 3 years in a row, which is rare because they used to be that Kentucky was like our homecoming game.
Yeah.
And again, no disrespect. I'm just the way it was that Florida and Kentucky, that was a gimme game. But Kentucky's played well under Stoops. And again, that's why I said it depends upon who the coach is. Okay? If Stoops wants to leave to go to the NFL, or his brother wants to go to the NFL since he's in the UFL right now, wouldn't that be something where you have a professional coach that knows his shit to bring his staff in? Yes. I mean, Harbaugh got that staff in, and then he plugged Greg Roman, who was a decent offensive guy when the Ravens got rid of him and they brought Monken in. But that was a good thing, And their defensive coordinator was a decent D coordinator at Michigan. I thought that the Garglers, I can't stand them, were gonna be a lot less than what they are. They're about what I think they are, okay? Because thank God they lost the Ravens, so I can at least throw that up against the Gargler guy tomorrow on Wild Wild West. Oh, because they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Who's got it better than us? Fuck you, dude. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going off tangent here, but yeah, it's the staff. It's the head coach and the staff. I will give the Chargers that Harbaugh and his staff have done wonders there. That the coach for the Broncos has done wonders in Denver because of who he brought in. Okay. Yeah. So if you know that the team's going to suck because of the coaches, get rid of the coaches. And I know we've done it again and again and again. I understand that. That's the wrong thing. But if you get the right guy with the right stat, that's what I'm telling Peggy. If you got the right guy, and she's like, who's going to come in? Well, you haven't made any offers to anybody yet. If you got the right guy in the staff, get rid of AP and the people.
Oh yeah, and I would, and I'm probably going to get probably not going to get too many likes out of this one, but I remember old Jack Del Rio when he came in and he, I thought he did. I think he did all right for the Raiders. I kind of didn't like that we went and got Gruden.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this. I will tell you from inside information on Del Rio. Gruden was first in the building and last out, and the only person that beat him in the building was Rich Gannon. Him and Gruden, Gannon and Gruden first in and last out. Del Rio was last in and first out.
First out,
and that's not opinion. That's facts that unfortunately I can't verify other than you got to take my word for it because I heard it from the right people.
Well, I mean, I'll take your word for it, but that's just, that was the coach that I liked, that I preferred. Doesn't mean it's the right answer. If I was going to start over and I'm going to bring in experience, that New York Jets head coach Saleh, or I'm not sure really how you
Robert Saleh would be a fantastic coach. Robert Saleh would be a fantastic coach, and he's out there.
And I would start with him, and then I start on that offensive line, and I'd get rid of Minshew in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, I'm not a Minshew guy.
No, I think Minshew, even though he signed I think he signed a 3-year deal. I'm not sure about his contract specifics, but we've been eating shitty money for years. Like I said, I know it's wrong. Eat the money and get rid of them. If you know it's a problem, why stick with? That's my point. If you know it's a problem, why stick with it? You're just paying. You're paying for problems.
Well, you know what the fastest way to insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Different results. That's what I was telling to Peggy. If we know we're going to be shitty, then why are we doing it?
That's what we got going on in the Raider Nation. We keep getting. We're putting money into things that we don't need to be putting money into, and starting out coaches not too funded for. Starting out getting quarterbacks that nobody else wants. That's probably not a good idea. I
agree.
I've been a Raider fan for over 20-some years, and the first thing I always said is when my dad's a Packer fan, and he goes, "Well, what about them Packers?" And I was like, "Well, the Raiders are looking pretty good." And he goes, "Well, what would you do different?" I said, "Well, first of all, I'd get a good head coach. I'd get that offensive line in, and then I get me a quarterback. I stick with that at least to a 5-year deal, and I just build around my defense. And I would draft defense, and except for purchasing, because sometimes you purchase somebody, they want a high price tag because what they did for another team, then they get over there and it's just a paycheck to them."
Yeah, and again, I'm doing the comments in here. Okay, apparently 2 years, but the money is dependent upon what you think about it. Yeah, post June 1st helps out because then you can spread it for 2 years. I think that's going to happen. And I like. And this is my bias. This is my bias now. I like Aiden O'Connell. I know he's a statue, but you should be able to teach him how to be more mobile. I also like Desmond Ridder, and one of those guys is going to be the backup next year. One of those two guys, in my estimation. And I don't have a problem with that because Ridder has experience. He just needs to learn, and he can move around a bit. He just needs to learn not to make as many of the stupid mistakes that he did in Atlanta. That can be taught. O'Connell needs to be taught how to move, okay? And so I think one of those guys are going to be the quarterback backup next year to whoever we pick in the draft, and it's either going to be Sanders or Ward, in my estimation.
Well, Lord, I hope that we don't get Sanders. I think it's just a name hype. I'm probably going to get a lot of boos for this, but I think the kids.
No, a lot of us don't want Sanders either.
I think he's pure garbage. If you'd put somebody else in that position and get the numbers that he's got, they wouldn't be at the top rank. But you put Sanders on the back of his jersey and his dad's the head coach, all of a sudden he rings up to number one. I don't get it. I didn't like him at Florida International. I don't like him at Colorado. And I hope for the heck the Raiders won't get him. But that's just my rant.
I wish and hope that we are correct in that. The problem is, who loves Sanders?
Tom Brady.
Mark Davis and Tom Brady. And if that's the opinion of who we're going to be getting, then it's a done deal unless somebody higher up than us drafts him. The problem with that as well is that Sanders is on record as like, well, if there's only a few teams that my boy's going to play for, and if you're one of those teams, he ain't going to play for you. So it's a matter of if he gets picked by somebody and then we pick behind him, right? And we pull an Eli Manning / Phillip Rivers where we swap picks. That's what I can see as well, because they are high. They are high on Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
So I'm higher on Cam Ward. I'm higher on Jackson Dart, and I think you can get him at the end of the first round because he's going to move up the draft. He's like a high second. You can get him at the end of the first round, and you're going to have to get him so that somebody else doesn't.
Well, I hope that's the case. I hope that you're right. I enjoy your show. I thank you for letting me be on it, and I want to say thank you for your time. And I will tune in to you. I will tune in to you next time. I gotta get on the bed. I gotta get up early in the morning. So.
Yeah, are you on the East Coast too, shipmate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, but I'm semi-retired, so I can sleep in. And the only thing I'm doing is getting all my IDs and my credit cards back, which is a shit show because I don't even want to go into it. So yeah, I can sleep in a bit, but if you're working, get your ass to bed. But thank you for coming in, and thank you for spending time with us. And do it more often.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks again, Derek. You take care, brother.
All right, you too, brother. Bye.
All right. That's Derek Jeffries. And I'm going to let him go only because I know Kenna. What's your phone on, Jack?
Hey, what's up, Minshew? Yeah, I just plugged it in. Hey, it's good to see you. So you're going to do the Wild Wild West show tomorrow? Awesome, dude.
No, I'm going to do a segment on the Wild Wild West.
I'm just glad to see you come on.
Yeah, I'm going to do a segment. I am not going to do the whole show. And the reason why I say that is I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be on without blowing the fuck up. So I want to give it my all, but I also don't know how much I will be able to take.
Well, I'll tell the fellas.
And again, you saw me a couple weeks ago where I wished everybody hello.
So
and if I get a link, I'll come on. And Richie said, "Great."
Well, Richie will have to send you something behind the scenes because I can't send links, dude. It's your show.
No, so that's why I said Richie said he would send the link, so we'll see if I get one. No, I told Richie. I said yes, send the link, and I'll be. Yeah.
I'm only here to help
I'm not doing the whole show.
I'm here to support you.
I appreciate it, Jack. Yeah, and Richie was on the show the other night on Sunday. He came in on Sunday because we were talking, obviously Broncos, and I was happy to have he was in for the show, and again for the and you could tell Smug that I'd love to have him on if I do a show on Friday if he's not busy taking his wife out, for after Thanksgiving. To have Smug come on and we'll talk Kansas City on Friday because these are games that really are, worthwhile to people having the opinions.
The meat and potatoes, of the whole season, all the, our AFC West division games, which, honestly, I'm like, I wasn't hurt, dude. As you know me, being a fan since 1974, watching my first game on TV, going my first game in 1975, watching old school guys, and this is the first time I can say it's like we're not in a rebuild, like a complete teardown and restart over. We just need to re-sign. Like we got $108 million in cap space. And we can re-sign a lot of our defensive players that we want to keep. And we can sign, some free agents. Like, I'm looking at like a guy like T Higgins right now. I'm really kind of liking him to come over and take over at wide receiver number 1. And then we're finally going to get a quarterback. It's like, that's what this difference in the division has been. You look at the quarterbacks in our division. I mean, damn. I mean, your boy that you don't like is, Robert said this, and he called it out, as 26 years old. It's like, man, Bo Nix should be starting from day one. Richie said no. And look at Bo Nix now. Now he's like in contention for Rookie of the Year with Jaden Daniels, who we all, as Raider fans, we all wanted him. We all wanted him. And we got Brock Bowers.
And I think that is the guy that deserves more Rookie of the Year accolades than those two guys. Yes, I'm biased, but if you're going to have Jaden Daniels versus Bo Nix, then who's the better quarterback? And then put him up against Brock Bowers, who may break the records of all tight ends historically for tight ends as a rookie. If you that as a rookie, you should be Rookie of the Year.
So Raider Nation, a prelude for tomorrow, Brock Bowers set 2 records. Again, 74 receiving, passing, in 11 games. He passed up Amari Cooper, who had 72. And then he passed all time for as many games in Jerry Rice. That's huge for all us old school guys. I mean, that's amazing. And he's so close coming in on in the all-time records. Salute. Thank you for. Is that Auntie? Auntie 6, dude.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Auntie 6. Good to see you, brother. It's been a long time, sir. Been a long time. Welcome back, man. Welcome back.
I'm surprised Auntie's not talking about the Dodgers. So, Auntie, go Giants. F the Dodgers. Love you, brother. Salute.
There you go.
But
good to see you.
But Cap, it's this is the 1 year out of I'm from being a young child to an old man now, to where we're not starting over. It's just a retool. It's a retool. Can you just imagine, if we had a quarterback and if we didn't let Josh Jacobs go, I mean, where this team can actually be? I mean, it's so close. And you know what? I'm happy for all the Chargers, the Donkeys, and not Casey. I don't want to see a three-peat, but I want them to fight it out. And they're all 2 of the 3 at least going to get busted down, and they're going to get knocked out, and they're going to get shittier draft picks. And this year we have the money, we got the space, we got the draft capital to retool this team to what we thought it was going to be from the get-go. I mean, honestly, I thought the Raiders were going to be number 2 in this division.
I did too. I did. I thought so much of this team after what we saw last year. That's why I blew up at who for saying that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Well, unfortunately, I got a bad case of athlete's tongue based upon what the Raiders have done this year. I'm not coaching the Raiders. I'm not playing for the Raiders. And by the way, Josh Jacobs took the better deal. The Raiders had a deal with him. And Josh said,
I heard they didn't even offer him a deal.
Well, I heard that they had X amount pegged out for him, and then the Packers went and overpaid. That's what I've heard. So I don't know. The truth might be somewhere in between, but he had a deal from the Packers that he liked, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty much a 1-year deal and 3 years options. But it was a $12 million this year, if I'm correct. Raider Nation, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's $12 million this year. And this is the year that's guaranteed, and I don't know about the years going forward. But that was the biggest mistake by Tom Telesco and not, re-signing him. And we're trying to go between Zeus. Guys, let me talk about Zeus for a half a second. Zeus came in the last 4 games last year. Everyone's beat up, they're worn down, and he's super fresh. And they ran him the way he should be run. You run him outside. He's super big, super fast, but he has no vision. He doesn't see the holes like a Josh Jacobs. So when you run him inside, unless you got a clean hole and our offensive line has been suspect, and you guys talked about Parham, it's like, Parham is like, he's good, but he's small. He's going to get bullied down. It's like, you got Chris Jones, and you got him at the right guard, and the last couple of years, left guard. He's going to get pushed back and bullied. The guy I'm most surprised with overall is Meredith. Meredith is really impressive. I thought he was going to be a camp cut, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm happy he's on the team. And he deserves another 1-year contract after this.
Yeah, he does. He's a hell of a lot better than Whitehead, whatever his name is.
Oh my God, Whitehair and Pete have both been garbage, this year.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm loving the Supers. Look, Auntie, way to go, bro.
Thank you there, shipmate. And I will, and I know I keep saying this, but when I get my shit square, I will have these boards. I'm getting my stuff ready. I don't know. Well, in fact, I will show you this. By the way, I don't know if anybody is coming to Tampa, but I'm getting my room squared away.
Well, what am I getting to invite to come to the house, Cap?
That's why I said, if you come to Tampa, you will see the Raider Hall of Fame room. I know that TV is on. Let me turn it off for a second.
Oh, it's glaring.
Okay, because it's a little bit. Yeah, the glare is not. But see, you got the Raider tree. That's not a Christmas tree, guys. That's a Raider tree because all of the ornaments on that are Raider ornaments. So it is a Raider tree. And this is the studio, and off to the other side is the bar. I don't know. Well, if I can try to get up, and I don't want to script the camera angle.
You can see the lights.
You can see the lights, and you can see the Raider tree. There's some stuff on the couch when unfortunately I didn't get a chance to move yet. But yeah, the room is you can see the room, and I'm going to have it all squared away for everybody. And I can't wait to have what do you call it? I can't wait to have people out here. So you can come on out to the room. Whoop, wrong one. You can come out to the room and then see the folks. A $10,000 Raider Christmas tree. Well, I don't know about that, Ed, but yeah, yeah, 10 grand.
My NorCal 916 brother, come on the show, bro. It's like I've been asking this for 4 years now. Let's do a show together, dude. Come on the show, bro. So Cap, it's like you guys talked about AP. We knew this about AP we talked about him from day one. He's never ever going to be the guy, right? Because you're going to have either an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. And it's kind of funny. I hear people talking about all these people, even Kingsbury. And the only reason Kingsbury was not signed by the Raiders because he wanted a 3-year contract, and our GM, our head coach, have 2-year contracts. So you're not going to give your offensive coordinator a 3-year when they only get a 2-year. And so why not Patrick Graham? Why not Patrick Graham? But we get talking about all these other guys. It's like, so you got to kind of ride it out. You have to ride it out because you know what? AP wanted Kingsbury. but Kingsbury didn't want to sign. So you look at what Kingsbury, what AP wanted to do in getting Kingsbury, if they could have signed him, the potential in improving your quarterback play. So I'm not going to default AP on that. And you have to go to what we call on the Wild Wild West show, Gonsby. We call him Gonsby. He's gone. It's like McFire, right?
Oh, okay.
Gonsby.
Yeah, I like that. Gonsby.
It's
okay.
Yeah, we call him Gonsby is what we call him. So it's like, he's never going to be the offensive guy. And it's like, you know what? But in the last 2 weeks, even though AP wants to be like the old Raiders, like, you and I, dude, and Ed too, we want to be a run-first team, dominate the run. But when your two top running backs are out of the game, and you're going to Amadula,
Yeah, but wait, it's not the Jack. It's not that though. It's the line in front of them. They're running zone blocking schemes when they need to run power, and that's just
that's
stupid.
the problem. That's the problem.
Now,
is that not the biggest? One of the biggest problems is that we have a mix of offensive linemen that do one thing well that don't do the other thing well. I mean, you guys talked about Parham.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the strongest guys on the team, but he's only 290 pounds. And you're going against guys like 320 pounds. So it's like you got to get your offensive line coordination better.
We need to have somebody that has more ass.
So hopefully next year.
I agree with Ozzy here.
Ozzy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And by the way, we had two Ozzy. We had Avagazi and Ozzy on here. So again, blessings to both of y'all.
Ozzy.
And Jeff, I saw that Mike Vrabel. I'd love to see Mike Vrabel as the. I said that's why I said depends on who the coach is and what he brings. Okay, and I'm gonna because you asked. Hopefully we got. Ed, how's your audio, brother?
Good.
Ed, show your face, brother.
Come on, I'm right here.
Ed.
Yeah.
Man, my 916 brother from another mother. After all these years, you are on the channel. I'm so happy to actually talk to you live to live. No, we talked on behind the scenes on Messenger and stuff like that, but dude, I'm glad that you're on, bro.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
How come I'm not coming on?
I don't know. Your camera, you got a problem with your camera, Ed, but it's okay because the audio is the most important thing. Seriously, the audio is the most important thing because we can hear you. Okay,
hey,
seriously.
Nation. This has been something that's been 4 or 5 years in the works right here, which is so cool to me, man.
It's about to happen.
Absolutely, dude. We don't need to have Captain Jack to come, to California for us to hang out. You and I can hang out.
Not at all. Not at all.
Let's go. I'll come up to your area in Roseville, and let's go to Yard Works or whatever. And it's watch a game.
I got some friends we could visit too.
Absolutely. I know Cujo would be wanting to come out, and I got a couple other guys maybe want to come out.
I know Jay would love to come up here.
I know Jay loves the 916 area.
Yeah, I would come out, but I don't think it's going to happen until February or March, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, unless it's like this next week, unless it's like this weekend.
Damn, Cap, you gonna fly out this weekend?
Well, I was gonna say that's the only time I have. That's the only time I have available is this weekend.
Right after Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm saying. The only time I have it because next week the Raiders are here in Tampa. That's why it would have to be like then, because the rest of the games are pretty much accounted for. So
what do you
anyway.
want for Thanksgiving, everybody? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some quarterbacks, guys. Dude,
Are we
this
all
is
going to walk into our relative's house with a Make America Great hat again?
I need one, actually. I need a Make America Great. I need a Make America Great hat, and I need a Make the Raiders Great Again hat. I need both of those hats. But and again, we got everybody here. We only got about 7 minutes left.
Oh no! We need more than 7 minutes. So Ed, question.
No,
Quick question.
no, we had Jack. This is my fucking show. I can look at the time, and it says 1:50. So I got to have 7 minutes.
All right, I just have a quick question for Ed. Ed, did you ever meet? It was out in like your neighborhood in Roseville. Did you get the chance to meet Lester Hayes?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, sure did.
On the back side of this house, Lester Hayes. On the front side, Cliff Branch.
Lester and Branch, my God. Why can't we find someone 1/10 as good as they were?
Right?
We'd be in better shape.
Dude, I'm so happy you're on, dude. It's like first time ever. It's been like years.
You asked me to come on.
Jack, I did. I've been asking you to come on forever.
It's Thanksgiving, though, so I'm here to give thanks.
So thank you.
To you being my friend. And
so thank
Jay,
you.
You know I love you, bro. I think I might be going to Tahoe for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So we only have too much time left. We have 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Cam Ward or Sanders? Who do you want? I want Ward.
Neither.
Neither?
Neither.
So who do you want to draft in? We got top 3 pick.
I haven't seen enough. I just think Sanders will bring Dion, and I'm not a big fan of Dion. Cam Ward, I haven't seen him play that much to say I think he would do well. So
I have.
I can't tell you right, Jack. I really can't.
So Cap, I said, we got neither. I'm Cam Ward. Who do you want, Cap?
I like Cam Ward or Jackson Dart as my top picks. And if you want to go 3, then I'll take Ewers. I don't know enough about the Utah quarterback. I don't know enough about him. But I've seen enough of Cam Ward. I've seen enough of Jackson Dart. Ewers, I've seen enough, and I've actually seen enough of Gabriel, but, people are talking about his size. Those are the 4 guys that I want. But it doesn't matter who the quarterback is if the offensive line is going to suck. And we need to make changes there.
We do need offensive line.
This may sound crazy, but I don't know if it's a good O-line class in this next year's draft. If it is a good O-line class, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are people. I know that there's a tackle from Texas that is, monstrous, huge, and can move. Okay, and that's the only guy I know about. But he is a first-round talent, and that
He's not top 3 though.
But like I said, sometimes you got to draft him when you can move back then, possibly. If you're a top 3, okay, you get that guy and move back.
Guys,
Jay or Jack, have you guys thought about? I'm not familiar with owners piecemealing their team in sales the way Mark Davis is piecemealing the Raider team, selling 5%, 10%.
He's funny. No,
why is he doing that?
Ed,
why doesn't he just sell the team?
Ed, Al Davis was doing that at the end, so he was little bits. So his own father was doing that, and the reason, in my opinion, why Mark is doing it is he needs money for the upcoming estate sale. That's my opinion.
Well, I got a different opinion on that. So here's my opinion on it. Here's the difference between Al and Mark. Al was kind of doing that because he needed money because we were in Oakland. In Las Vegas, they're making money. That's how you were able to cut, like, John Gruden, 10-year contract. Mick, I caught myself, Mick fired, a 4 or 5 year deal. But Mark has no children. He has no children. So the reason why there's a controlling interest in, like, Tom Brady, you're going to get like one of the best players you can ever have. If you have no kids, and at some point you got to turn over that controlling interest to somebody, what are you going to do? You're going to turn it over to the GOAT. I mean, he has nobody to turn it over to. That's why it's happening. And he wants to sell it. He wants to live his great life, and, make money. It's like, but he still has controlling interest. But it is going to end up going to Tom Brady.
By the way, I love that. Moving Parham to right tackle. That's beautiful. That's the best line I've heard all night on that. I get it.
To right tackle. I'm sorry.
He was being facetious.
Okay. Then Ozzy. Salute, brother. Love you, and I'm laughing at them with you.
I really feel to both you guys that until we get an owner that knows what the heck is happening, we're not going to be able to see much improvement.
Well, I agree. I agree.
That's just me. I mean, Tom Brady is a football player. He's not even a good announcer. What makes you think he's going to be a good owner?
Well, can he really be a good announcer? Because he can't really talk a lot because he's an owner.
Well, again, I'm not enamored with him at all. And
I don't like Tom Brady at all. It's like, Charles Woodson, with the tuck rule and everything, from our 2001 season, 2002.
Yeah, but what makes you think he's going to be a good owner, Jack?
I don't agree with. I don't think he's going to be a great owner. I don't think he's going to be anything. But I think
he's going to be anything. He's a has-been.
I think, but Mark needs somebody to give the team to because he has no children. I mean, when you run a bowl cut.
And on that note, because we got about 3 minutes left, we'll table that. But again, who's to say that Mark gives the team to anybody? Who's to say he gives it to anybody?
And that's another question.
Anyway,
how do you know Mark Davis don't have kids?
Yeah.
He may have 10 of them. He could be another Josh Jacobs with 4 baby mamas.
That's why he's so awesome.
So, then I'll salute to you, gentlemen, and I'll leave you. So, Raider Nation, Cap, Ed, thank you for coming on, man. I'm going to give you a call here in about like 2 minutes. And you know what? I'm glad to see you guys. I hope you guys are both coming on tomorrow night on the Wild Wild West show because I'm going to get my ass eaten by Richie. But you know what? Our Raiders played pretty good against them damn Broncos. And we set some records last night.
And
multiple players.
Get those stats ready. I got to go, guys. Thanks for popping in. I got to do the outro. Thanks again,
all right, buddy. Be well. Take care.
And Jack, we'll see you. And take care. We're going to be gone. I got to get out of here. I got to keep it under 2 hours. So thanks again. We're out of here. We'll be on tomorrow at NFL Nation Live, and I'll be on a little bit, hopefully, if Richie Rich gives me a link to the Wild Wild West. We'll see you tomorrow.